to the GAB Talks by the Independent Press Award. I'm your hostess, Gabby Olzak. Today, we will be speaking with Kaylin McFarren, author of Annihilation, Book 2 in the GEHENNA series. Annihilation earned a distinguished favorite in the 2022 Independent Press Award for Horror. Kaylin has received more than 60 national literary awards. Her work spans the gamut from romantic thriller to mystery time travel to paranormal thriller and the psychological thriller series Threads. More recently, Kaylin published Book 3 in the GEHENNA series, Requiem for a Queen. Prior to embarking on a fascinating writing career, Kaylin was the director of a fine arts gallery and restaurateur. She's very active in many philanthropic endeavors and spends her time in Oregon with her family and dogs. Unfortunately, Kaylin was not able to attend our interview today. However, she has provided pre-written responses that will be read by a GAB Talks crew member. Congratulations, Kaylin, and welcome to the GAB.
Thanks, Gabby. So happy to be here.
So, Kaylin, I understand as a young girl you kept a journal and you wrote poetry. In fact, you've included many poems at the beginning of your books and on your website. Writing novels, as with many of us writers, seems to be an accidental career path for you. Your first book, Flaherty's Crossing, took 16 years from concept to print. Tell us about that journey.
Yeah, so as a teenager, my love for poetry convinced me that I had a book of poems in my future. But after reading a short story I wrote in my English literature class, my professor encouraged me to delve deeper into my feelings. When my father died of cancer, I tried my hand at writing a story dedicated to him, but I could never figure out the proper ending for it. I guess in many ways, I would have to let go of his memory and move on in my life. At least that's what I told myself. After winning numerous contests for Flaherty's Crossing, I discovered I had a real talent for storytelling. But I loved poetry too. That's why I always begin a story with a poem, foreshadowing the tale I'm about to introduce.
Yes, I noticed that. It's a wonderful intro to your tales. What's your greatest source of inspiration as a writer, Kaylin?
Well, years ago, as an avid writer, I thoroughly enjoyed picking up a racy novel from time to time, especially when the story dealt with forbidden love. I found myself, as readers often do, beseeching the bad guy to see the light and end his evil ways, or the handsome, muscle-bound rogue to curtail his philandering after meeting the love of his life. Every action-packed romance story is an escape from reality, a way to live vicariously through the characters in my imaginary world, where the victorious heroes walk away with the prize of his or her victory.
That's the beauty of reading, isn't it? To transport us somewhere else. I love it. So, Kaylin, give us a synopsis of the GEHENNA series, which includes Soul Seeker, Annihilation, and most recently, Requiem for a Queen.
Sure. So, Soul Seeker introduces Crichton's character, an Nephilium preacher, half demon and half angel. Only his mother hasn't revealed this revelation to him. He struggles with his identity while aiding in an angel's escape and ultimately becomes her soulmate. Annihilation introduces the readers to Lucinda, Lucifer's daughter, after she destroys her father and takes over as the ruler of hell. Then Lucifer returns and challenges her authority. His obsession with Samara Demonium, Crichton's daughter, leads her to kidnapping and rape. While Lucifer continues to pledge his allegiance to her, Lucinda schemes how to defeat her father again. Requiem for a Queen pits powerful women against each other. Lucinda craving eternal power and all that comes with it, and Samara struggling with motherhood and raising Lucifer's son away from all the madness.
Wow, all of these stories are so intriguing. So you really had to invent an entire new world. What type of research did you have to do?
Virtually none.
Really?
I let my imagination take over. After watching some late-night horror flicks, fear is the little death that brings us to our knees, and dealing with Lucifer's endless supply of evil allowed Samara's character to grow by leaps and bounds and permitted it to pass over her.
Wow, it really must be quite an experience to write in this genre. You have almost free reign to allow your imagination to soar. It's really every writer's dream. The GEHENNA series are supernatural thrillers. Kaylin, what do you like about penning a thriller?
I've always loved reading thrillers, especially when you can't predict the ending or the identity of the real villain in the story. I strive to write the same kind of story, always keeping my readers guessing and ultimately leaving them surprised by the outcome. The supernatural theme is more difficult to write, and I've always loved a great challenge.
Well, your stories definitely leave us wanting more. Why do you believe the GEHENNA series is timely?
Well, women have long exercised influence behind the scenes. A few thousand years ago, this drove Aristotle to distraction. What difference does it make whether women rule or the rulers are ruled by women? The result is the same, especially on the domestic front. Women are acknowledged to be experts at a tensile brand of quiet authority. The old adage has it that an American woman rises to a crisis, but that a French woman sees to it that the crisis never arises.
Oh, I like that.
And no one with a mother can deny that she wields, without lifting a finger, and by virtue of her sheer existence, an outsized, open-ended, irrevocable influence on her life.
I like that one even better. In fact, your strongest protagonists are women, Lucinda and Samara. So what's unique about them?
They crave power in all its forms. Lucinda wants to regain the throne and rule in hell, and Samara wants to stand on her own, away from her parents, Lucifer and Damien's control. As Palpion's mother, she has her chance to grow and mature into the strong woman she longs to be.
Wow. Yeah. In fact, I know Samara is actually a teenager, so it really is a coming of age story also. And I really enjoyed that aspect of it. Kaylin, GEHENNA is your second series of books. What's the most important element when you're writing a series? Because it is different than writing other types of novels.
Yeah. Stay consistent with your characters and the drama in their lives.
That's great advice. So now that you have a number of books under your belt, which was your favorite to write and why?
Definitely Soul Seeker, because I wrote from the victims and then the villains' viewpoints. At the end of the story, you sympathize with both of them.
Yep, I have to agree with that. Writers are usually enthusiastic writers. So tell us, what's your favorite genre to read?
Murder mysteries, surprisingly enough, especially when I'm unsure who the villain is and their motives for committing the crime aren't clear.
Somehow I'm not surprised by your choice, Kaylin. Do you have advice for aspiring writers?
Let your passion guide you in all things, especially when writing, researching your subject matter, meeting new people, and in life in general. You never know what tomorrow holds for you, so live it to the max, scooping up experiences that someday you may use in a book or two.
Wonderful inspiration and true words. Kaylin, can you share with our listeners something about Kaylin McFarren that would surprise us?
I suffered 2 strokes back to back, 5 months ago and then 3 months later. Although I'm normal for the most part, I now take medication and my speaking ability has been greatly impacted. I currently go to speech therapy and am determined to bounce back. Weirdly, this didn't affect my writing ability other than taking my readers to darker places.
Wow. Well, we wish you good luck on your continued recovery. And I absolutely know that your fans and our listeners will be relieved that you will continue to write. What are you working on now?
I'm currently working on Blackwing Sky, book 4 in the GEHENNA series. This will feature an exciting finale and hopefully set Samara Demonium on the right path to trust and forgiveness. However, there are 2 men in her life, and she must determine which one she truly loves with all her heart.
Sounds like a little bit of a romance novel to me. I love it. Well, we're looking forward to reading it. How can listeners find out more about you and purchase your incredible books?
Visit Amazon.com and look for Kaylin McFarren books, or stop by my website at www.kaylinmcfarren.com. And be sure to check out my weekly postings at kaylinmcfarren.blog.
Thank you so much for joining us today. It was really great fun. Next podcast, we'll chat with Dr. Barbara Koltuska-Haskin, author of How My Brain Works, a guide to understanding it better and keeping it healthy. This is your host, Gabby Olzak of the GAB Talks. Until next time, keep reading.